The following segments are pre-recorded and sponsored by Longworth Productions.
Healthy foods on Triad Today. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Longworth and welcome to another edition of Triad Today, coming to you once again from the beautiful Senior Botanical Garden in Kernersville. We'll tell you more about the garden later on, and later on is when the roundtable shows up, so be sure to stay tuned for that. We'll get into all sorts of controversial topics. But first, where we want to start is talking about healthy foods. And we do that with two experts in community service and many other things. On my right is Jennifer Bedrosian. She's a coordinator for food systems and for Piedmont Triad Regional Council. And Adam Scholl is assistant director for regional planning. Good to see both of you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Jim.
Adam, before we get going, and I'll get Jennifer to tell me some specifics about the topic, but remind people what the mission of PTRC is.
Absolutely. Thank you. The Piedmont Triad Regional Council is a council of government with the mission of improving the lives of our communities through creative regional solutions. We work across 12 counties, frequently bring together elected officials, local government staff, any stakeholder working to improve lives in communities. We carry forward this mission through 6 departments. So economic development, workforce development, community development, we do a lot of developing.
Right,
We have the Area Agency on Aging.
Right.
Criminal justice, and then regional planning, where I serve.
And of course, in the community, let me turn to Jennifer. Let's talk about this food council, and of course, in your very title, it talks about food systems. What's the food council about?
Yeah, so thank you. The Piedmont Triad Regional Food Council is an amazing group of individuals that work across different and represent different aspects of the food system across our 12 counties. So we have, for example, our 2 current co-chairs are Conna Miller, who is a co-manager of a food hub based in Davidson County, and Lashana Austria, who is with Seeds of Change Consulting out of Alamance County.
Right. Now, what about this growing food finance funding project? What are the goals of that? What is it? And tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so we work, the Growing Food Finance Project is a new project of PTRC and the Food Council. It is a partnership between Piedmont Triad Regional Council and 2 CDFI mission-driven lenders, Self-Help and Partner Community Capital. And there are 2 main goals of the program, really. One is to provide resources to healthy food projects to help them be successful.
Right.
And then 2 is to provide loan products to those healthy food projects, eligible healthy food projects, to help those products be more accessible in underserved areas.
Now, to understand that you, in all that, and translate this for me, you're assisting with the retailers who are going to participate in this. Now, how is a retailer eligible to help with this?
Yeah, so we have a couple of designations that are specific to this grant: food retail and food enterprise. I'm going to turn it over to Adam in just a minute to talk a little bit more about that. But I guess one of the things before we get to that, I just wanted to share that we're really excited about is that to carry out this project and those resources that I mentioned earlier, PTRC was awarded $3 million to carry this out, and we of federal funds, and we anticipate this project beginning this summer in 2024. So
I tell you, as somebody who's done grant development, that was music to your ears, wasn't it? Before we run out of time, let's go back to this thing. I'm curious about this helping retailers and how do they help people and get involved with this?
Absolutely. So 2 main groups who can benefit from our program that Jennifer described. Food retailer is just what you're thinking, direct sell to consumers of fresh, healthy foods. Also, to be eligible, we need to accept SNAP benefits and EBT payments, those sort of things.
Right.
Food enterprise, we want to talk to folks about. It's a broad term, but it's organizations and businesses in the food supply chain. So please reach out to us and kind of learn more about what that is, and we'll help you out there.
Well, up on screen, you can go to www.ptrc.org. And also, if she doesn't mind, I think you can email Jennifer at jbedrosian at ptrc.org, and 904-0300 is that. And I hope the 2 of you will come back sometime soon, because I want to see how it's going, sort of check the progress and feedback on what you're getting on that. But I just think what you're doing is marvelous for the community and helping so many people eat healthy and have access to those foods. Thanks a lot for what you're doing.
absolutely, thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
The world's brightest are Fulbrights, Goldwaters, McNairs, and Spartans. Prestigious doesn't have to be expensive.
And we know you will make a difference wherever you go.
UNCG. Find your way here.
Baby, watch me fly. Baby, watch me soar. Baby, watch me fly. I will open up the sky.
Fly local, fly easy, fly PTI.
Back now on Triad Today, one of my favorite guests is back with us right now. Shannon Newman is director of the Petty Family Foundation, as in the Richard Petty Family Foundation, as in NASCAR legend
Yes.
Richard Petty.
The King.
The King, that's
Yep.
right. Do you have to call Richard the King when you walk through the office, or can you call him Richard?
No. He has nicknames for us all.
Yeah,
so.
I don't want to hear him. All right, now seriously though, about the foundation. Some people don't know yet. Although we've talked about it, you and I, on the show before, but a lot of people don't know that there's a family foundation. What's the mission of the foundation?
So the mission of the foundation really ties back to the Petty family. They wanted to be able to continue their legacy of giving back into their community. So in 2008, they started the Petty Family Foundation as their way of being able to contribute back to so many other great organizations in the greater Triad area.
And and not long before that, as I recall, because I remember having Richard on the show when we first started Triad Today almost 21 years ago, they were just getting ready to do Victory Junction.
Yes.
So once that got up and running, that sort of became one of the beneficiaries of the foundation and keeping that going for terminally ill kids. But you support other things too, right?
We do. Here in the community, we're involved in several different veterans organizations that support our veterans with PTSD, if they're having financial issues, different things like that.
Right.
And then we also are supporters of the Ricky Prohl Power of Play Foundation.
He does a lot of work with kids and
does.
after school stuff.
Yes.
Now, all right, let's talk about some upcoming events. I think one's in August, one's in November. Let's start with the Moonshine Run. And I think I read somewhere it's in Tennessee. Now, what's that all about?
So several years ago, we were befriended by the Moonshiners from the show Moonshiners, I think,
Right.
on TV. A lot of people have seen it. And we were already doing a moonshine run here locally. And then they invited us to come to their neck of the woods in Cosby, Tennessee. It's
Right.
a little tiny town right outside of Gatlinburg.
Right.
And we started doing the moonshine run up there. And what's so very interesting and cool about it, Jim, is that we get people from all over the country that come in for that one event. We'll have about 200 people.
Wow.
And it's a 3-day event. It's more from 1 day into 2 days. And now this year it'll be fully 3. And we do kickoff parties and tastings at some of the local distilleries. And then we end with like a rod run.
Right.
People bring out their classic cars. Some people bring their family vans.
Wow.
And we just see some interesting sights and then end with a big party up at Adventure Distilling.
Now, coming up in November, there's a golf tournament and dinner. Tell me about that.
So the golf tournament is several years old. It's been around since the start of the foundation in 2008. And it's just a great 2-day event that we bring in golfers. Some local businesses sponsor tables at our dinner the night before. And then we all end up at Grand over the next day having a little bit of friendly competition.
Right.
And raising a lot of money for some great causes.
Now, if I'm not a golfer, can I just come to the dinner, or vice versa? If I can't make the dinner for a conflict of a schedule, I can still do golf, or how does that work?
Absolutely. We have table sales for the dinner, and then we also just have golf teams available for those that just want to come out on.
Don't you sometimes also auction off items and stuff?
We
Some of
do.
those?
We get great auction items. Usually the king donates him something from his personal stash.
Yeah, I've seen in the past he's done stuff like hats and buckles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be great. That brings a lot of money, which brings me to this. It's very important for you to do these fundraisers to sustain the mission, right?
Absolutely. The majority of our funds do come from the events, and then we've been able to contribute. Last year, it was over $150,000 back into the community, including scholarships for students that are going into automotive tech trade skills types of jobs, and just so many others that we're excited to help with.
Yeah. So as you said, you can go to these events, whether it's the moonshine run in August or the dinner and the golf event in November. And as you said, they're fun. But while you're having fun, you're also helping a lot of folks that need your help in the community, courtesy and through the Petty Family Foundation.
Yep, that's the idea.
Up on screen, pettyfamilyfoundation.org for more information. You can learn all about their mission and what's going on and some of the events. Shannon, thanks for everything.
Thank you, Jim.
All right. We'll be right back after this. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you that Triad Today is now streaming on WFMY Plus, available free on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. Back now on Triad Today, let's talk about careers, let's talk about career connections, and just happen to have an expert in the house. So we'll do that right now. On my right, our good friend Toshiba Sanyang. She's Career Connections Program Coordinator for Guilford Works. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Jim.
What is, just to get us started, what is Career Connections? How would you make people understand about it?
Career Connections is one of the great programs to help nationally dislocated workers to get back to work. That is individuals who are experiencing long-term unemployment or who've been laid off.
Of any age, basically.
18 and up.
Yeah,
18 and up, yeah.
So even older folks who feel like, gee, I don't know what I'm going to do now, I've been dislocated, you can still help them. Right?
Absolutely.
Let's talk about some of I think you put in an email to me, or maybe Timothy did in an email one day about working with partners to make this work. What kind of partners, what kind of training is offered? Sort of help me understand how this all works.
Sure. So some of our partners include community colleges and other private training providers. We work together with them to provide training for in-demand careers, such as careers in healthcare, aviation, advanced manufacturing, skilled trades, transportation, and logistics. Those have proven to show individuals who go through that training or have that certification can increase their earnings potential and get them on the right path for self-sufficiency.
And I think what you said is really important about in-demand jobs, because sometimes people say, well, I'm going to go to the college or community college, or maybe I'll go through this training thing that Toshiba's talking about, but gee, I don't know if I'll have anything waiting for me when I get through. But you do, because you're really targeting these things toward the jobs that the employers need, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, who can receive the services that you offer? I mean, I know you said 18 and up as far as age is concerned. Any other restrictions or things I have to go through?
Well, the biggest thing for the Career Connections program is individuals have to be Guilford County residents. So anyone living within Guilford County can take advantage of the services that we provide through Career Connections.
Right. Now, we've talked about helping people who need your help, who've been dislocated, they've laid off, or the plant closes or whatever like that. Let's switch that around, talking about employers for just a second. If I'm an employer, how does Guilford Works and your Career Connections program, how do you work with me? How do you help me?
Okay. With our employer partners, we do have something that is called the apprenticeship program, and we have work-based learning experience, such as on-the-job training and work experience that gives the individuals the opportunity to get the hands-on experience and the employers to get that skilled person right out of training and get them trained the way that they would like for them to be.
Yeah. So, I mean, your folks are going to hit the ground running coming to me if I'm in the employer, and they're sort of ready to go.
Yeah, and there are incentives to the employers to work with our participants, so that you could save on payroll by getting someone who's coming through our program. Employers can save money.
That's important. Be able to save a little bit of money, but also get a good employee.
Absolutely.
Now, how long does this program you're talking about last? I mean, is it a limited amount of time, or does it go on and on, or when do you need to sign up for it? I mean, what's the deal?
Sign up today. Our Career Connection program will be coming to an end this year, September. But once that program goes away, we do have other services available, which is the WIOA program for adults and dislocated worker program. We also have our youth and young adults program.
Oh, you know what else I was going to ask you about was this summer vocation program. What's that all about?
So we are starting an initiative to push our young people to help find work experiences, or what we like to say career exploration opportunities. So we're looking for some employers who are interested in partnering with us, who want to get some youth, get them into the workforce, get them trained in careers that they have said, I'm interested in this.
Now, we didn't rehearse this, so I'll surprise you with this, but since you and I have just met for the first time, I sort of see in your eyes that you really enjoy what you're doing. What gratification do you get out of all this? I mean, what does it do for you?
I absolutely enjoy this. And the reason I enjoy it is because I am a success story of one of these kinds of programs.
Really?
In Wisconsin, yes. I went through the WIOA program. I've gone through the work experience. I've gone through the education part of it. And now I'm the program coordinator for the SAIL program. So I know the program works if the people will work with it. That's why I'm passionate.
What a great success story. And to top your whole life off, you're right here on Triad Today. That's the apex of it right there. And
That's it.
I'll tell you what, Toshiba, thanks for up on screen. GuilfordWorks.org/career-connections is a good place to go for more information. Toshiba, I hope you will come back sometime and visit with us. And thanks for all you do.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back after this.
North Carolina's economy is growing, bringing new businesses and opportunities. The need for electricity is growing too. At Duke Energy, we're meeting the challenge, providing even more electricity that's cleaner, reliable, and that stays affordable. We're getting out of coal and reinvesting in our communities with a diverse, balanced mix of energy sources and making targeted upgrades to the grid so that North Carolina can thrive in a smarter energy future.
Right now on Triad Today, I am sitting with three legends, two from the legal field and community service, one from racing, and they're all here right now. David Day, Griff Schuler, of course, from Daggett Schuler Law Firm, and they brought along a special guest, the legendary Randy Myers, who's competition director of Caraway Speedway. Good to see you, boys.
Hey, Jim. Thanks, Jim.
Randy, let me start with you. Now, for folks who don't know, where is the Speedway located and what kind of races do you normally run?
The Speedway itself is on Racetrack Road Extension in Sophia, North Carolina. We race late model stock cars, we race modifieds, we race challengers, U cars. There's any number of different events that we race, but all got tires on them. Go down the straightaways and turn left.
For people that hadn't been out there, that's as you said, Ashboro claimed it. So if they want to know directions, they can go. We'll give a website in just a minute. Now, all right. Now, tell us about the big event that's coming up on July 6th. Tell me all about that.
Well, that's the Rusty Hart Memorial Race, and thanks to these two guys, we've been doing it for several years. Rusty passed away in 2007 in a farm accident, and he was a track champion at Caraway, so we decided to honor him.
That's great.
And they've been carrying that on ever since. It's a modified event coming up on the 6th, and we have a good time.
Really looking forward to it. We'll put some stuff up on screen in just a second about it. Mm-hmm. David, now again, how long have you and Griff been supporting this?
Well, this is the 18th annual race, and I think we've been involved since the beginning. Yep. I was a longtime friend of Chip Harp, Rusty's father, who, shout out to Chip, he's recovering from a medical incident right now. His son, Rusty, I actually knew. He was a high school wrestler, and I officiated him in high school. Okay. So Chip and I had that double connection.
Got it. Griff, why should folks come out and support this kind of event?
Well, for one thing, it's just a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's great racing. One thing that's always exciting, they'll have fireworks following the races. And the other thing is because the Rusty Hart Memorial Race is always very close to July 4th, there's always a little bit of a patriotic theme.
Okay.
And that's always neat to have. And so it's a lot of fun. Bring out the whole family. It's a great night of racing and just being together.
I don't have to get in the car and actually race to our Rusty.
No, we wouldn't let you do that.
right there, Randy. Randy, tell me now, where do the proceeds go, Randy?
The proceeds actually benefit the track. There's no actual thing. When they first started doing the event, they donated a lot of money to Natalie's, Rusty's daughter.
Right.
But since then, they have just been great sponsors for the event and made it able for us to continue to do that traditional race.
I'll come back to David for some final thoughts in just a second. I don't want to run out of time before we do this. Up on screen, Randy Hart Memorial Race, Saturday, July 6th, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., and that's in Sophia, North Carolina on Caraway Speedway. Now, if you want more information, you can go to carawayspeedway.com. That's carawayspeedway.com. Lots of good information on there, all sorts of stuff going on out there in addition to this, but check it out. And if you ever need the services of the Daggett Schuler guys, you can go to daggettschulerlaw.com. Number on screen there is 724-1234. David, any final thoughts on the importance of this?
Well, a couple things. Randy truly is a legend. He's being modest. The Harp family, we love them to death, and they've turned this tragedy into something positive. All the drivers are excited. It is a big event, and so proud of the Harp family, so proud of the track at Caraway. Darren and his team do a wonderful job, and Randy's the glue that pulls everything together.
Yeah, are you expecting a big crowd again, Randy?
We do. We do. We have two big events that same week. We have an event on Wednesday night and again the Rusty Harp race on Saturday night. And the Rusty Harp race, as Griff said, it's the patriotic theme. We're all doing what we do on the 4th of July with the fireworks and everything.
But Randy, final thing, what about folks that are watching this and say, well, that sounds neat. I have heard about Randy before, but I don't know anything about racing. I don't know if I'll have any fun going to I don't understand racing. What do you say to them?
You will have fun, I promise. And the food's good too.
And so sometimes there's some wrecks that make it even more fun.
Yeah, but they're safe. They're safe wrecks.
Behind the fence.
That's right. That's guys, I appreciate it. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Jim.
guys.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you to catch my column Longworth at Large and Yes Weekly every week. It's available throughout the Triad, or you can go online, yesweekly.com.
The world's brightest are Fulbrights, Goldwaters, McNairs, and Spartans. UNCG, find your way here.
Back now on Triad Today, just about time for the roundtable, but a quick shout out to the good folks here at Senior Botanical Garden. Check out the website, come out to the garden. There's all sorts of things to see. It's so special out here, and it's special in here too. On my right, but always on the political left, Ogie Overman special because our special guest is former Congressman Mark Walker, now assigned to the RNC, and we welcome him. Held over from a previous segment, David Daggett is helping us out on the roundtable. Here you go, guys. There have been a lot of jokes made about cities and states wanting to secede from America, but now a few counties are getting serious about it. For example, voters in Crook County, Oregon want to be placed under the Idaho state government. And this fall, Madison County, Illinois voters will decide if they can create their own state. Guys, how likely is it this movement will keep growing and succeed with secession? Ogie.
That's a joke, Jim. Back in the early 70s, there was a group of hardcore hippies in Richmond who seceded. They called themselves the Grove Avenue Republic.
I remember that.
And I think they're still part of the Union.
That's right, Mark.
I think about having visited Normandy and just coming off D-Day, I think it's unpatriotic for the people and the sacrifices that have been made for this country. And I think there should be a penalty to pay when you start using rhetoric or language like that.
To do like that, absolutely. Yeah, I guess. David.
Yeah, I'm a uniter, not a divider. We start fragmenting our people, I think we'll blow to pieces. Let's keep us together.
I agree, David. Now, Louisiana lawmakers have approved a new law that would give judges the option to have child sex offenders castrated as their punishment. Are you guys okay with castrating men who sexually abuse children? And do you think North Carolina will enact this same law? Ogie.
No, that's way off the deep end. Jim, I mean, as bad as child molestation is, that is way too far.
Too harsh. Yeah. Mark?
My wife helped start the sexual assault nurse examiner program at Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center.
That's right.
I've seen some of the course cases, and this is your field, David. But yeah, I would be okay even with the death penalty for these serial abusers of children. So I think something needs to be cut off one way or the other. I don't have a problem with it.
Something needs to be cut off. David Daggett.
Well, obviously child abuse is abhorrent. I don't think an equally abhorrent act by us cures the situation. Yes, the punishment should be as extreme as it can be under the law. We start castrating people.
Some of them have even requested it.
I think
some have requested it. Yeah.
Well, that's a different issue.
Right.
But I think we're going down a bad path. We start doing.
All right. An old video of Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson has surfaced recently, which he says that abortion is brought about because, quote, women aren't responsible enough to keep their skirts down, unquote. Robinson's a GOP candidate running for governor against Attorney General Josh Stein. The two men are neck and neck in the polls. Guys, will this kind of rhetoric get Robinson elected, or will it backfire on him? Ogie.
No, that's going to totally backfire. There's one of many that are going to surface down the stretch against. He's a loon.
Backfire or help?
As a conservative pro-life, until we start paying as much attention and providing resources for some of these mothers that are in difficult situations, we're not going to win this argument. I have a different approach, and I don't think that helps you long term.
David.
I don't think it helps either. It reminds me of Abraham Lincoln's quote, something like, if you're going to criticize, have a heart to help, which is what Mark's saying.
Right.
You got to solve the problem.
All right. Studies have shown that Americans are getting tired of paying for Secret Service protective details for former presidents and vice presidents. Since these officials are usually wealthy enough to pay for their own security guys, would you like to see Congress stop using taxpayer money to protect these millionaire politicians, Ogie?
Well, there's one millionaire politician I would like to see.
Yeah, I know. We don't have to. Yeah, that's a rule, Mark. What do you think?
Former ranking member on Intelligence and Counterterrorism Subcommittee, I can tell you there are bad actors out there that if we're not protecting these former presidents and vice presidents, I think it could create more issues.
You're talking about uniform detection or not uniform, but across the board paid for by taxpayers is okay.
Yeah, I think so, yes.
All right, David.
For former president and vice president, absolutely, whether they're foreign or abroad, we need to provide their protection.
Okay. Yes. Claiming that social media is addictive and harmful to kids, the New York legislature just passed a bill that will ban those platforms from showing suggested posts to people under the age of 18. Guys, would you like to see North Carolina lawmakers enact a similar ban? Ogie.
How would that work, Jim? How can you selectively eliminate certain posts on I mean, you either do it all or do it none.
Not sure
ban
how to-
TikTok or let TikTok roam.
One way
I
or the
don't
other, Mark.
understand.
I'm a big guy against government intrusion, but I think there should be some limits as far as what our children are being exposed to on the social media sites.
David.
I think it's a complex, complicated problem that is going to be hard for society to get their arms around, but we're going to have to because there's so much damage occurring. We have to figure out a way. I don't know if this is it, but we got to figure out a way.
All right, and finally, at a recent wedding ceremony in England, the groom, this is a true story, the groom had a penguin as his best man. He said he did it. Yeah, he said he did it because his bride loves penguins. She wanted it. Now, guys, here's the question. When you got married, did your wife help select your best man, and was he in any way an animal?
Well, no, he's my brother, but I've seen plenty of weddings have dogs bringing a ring bearer or a kid, little kids.
Yeah.
Best man, I'm not. But what's it going to hurt, really? You know.
Kelly, pick out your best man.
I've officiated a few weddings that I had some questions, but maybe one of the groomsmen, but not my best man.
Yeah, did your wife pick out your best man?
Well, I had my wife's brother as my best man. So
she picked him out.
Yeah, because I'm a smart guy.
We're just thinking long term.
I was thinking long term, absolutely.
All right. Well, that's it. We're all smart, or we profess to be. All right. And again, thanks to Mark for stopping by, and Dave for filling in for Keith, who's out of town. All right. Well, that's all the time we have. Oh, except for this. Last week, the Prime Minister of the Fiji Islands, he's 75 years old, won a shot put contest. Now, he's 75 years old. He threw a shot put, this heavy shot put, 23 feet. And I can't believe he did it, said the hernia doctor. All right, we're all going to go out and put shots or something like that. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next week.